Hello, this is Tamara Hergert. I am here to talk about the artist commission contract. And before I start, I wanted to invite you to join our community of artists, and we have lots of wonderful masterclasses to guide you through the journey of becoming a more successful artist. I know you are definitely a successful one because you're listening to this podcast and you are growing to be the best version of yourself. So let's dive in. When you take on a commission project, you get into a legal relationship with your client. Basically, what that means is that you need to be aware of the key provisions that your artist commission project and contract needs to have. So you can protect yourself legally, and you can set boundaries and also commitments on both sides. So to get our agreement template, which is super pumped up agreement template for commission projects, and it also includes a comprehensive checklist of things that you can possibly include in that agreement. Take our live or on-demand working on commission projects masterclass so that you can take on projects with confidence and protect yourself from all possible sides. And you will also get communication, negotiation, and mindset tips for successful work with clients with lots of examples during this working on commission projects masterclass. So now that we've covered that, I can tell you a little bit about the key provisions of the artist commission contract. So of course they need to have the parties named. It cannot be just somebody's first name. It needs to be first name, last name, and ideally their email address or email address and physical address or location, and then the date of the agreement, basically the effective date of the contract, and the location if it's a location-based project. So if you are performing your services at a specific location, at the client's location, or somewhere where they would like for you to create the art, then you need to specify that location. If you're doing a project at home, then you can also say that the location is the artist's residence or the artist's studio. And then projects and services. This section describes the work that you will be doing for the client. It should be as specific as possible. So typically clients, they go in lots of detail about what they want, how they want it, and so include all of that, and that shows that you are attentive, you are listening to them, and you are including all of their thoughts and ideas into the description, and everything will be captured in the project. Then if there is a sketch fee, basically digital or hand-drawn sketch or preliminary rendering or drawing, you need to include that fee in the agreement as well. This section specifies the fee to be paid by the client for the sketch, also known as design or rendering, as I said before. So that's an important thing to include in your agreement, because if you don't have it, then you are basically you're not giving a preview to your client. The preview is so important, and they want, clients want to know that you got it, that you understand their vision, that that it's going to be just so. And so At that point, you know, I want you to realize that this is as much for them as it is for you, because it is so much easier to work off of a sketch or preliminary design once you know that you guys have both agreed on it and you both love it, and you're gonna go and create the larger version of it uh, with a total complete peace of mind, because it's gonna look exactly how you agreed upon. And the best part about sketch fee is that you get paid for that. Um, so that sketch fee, rendering sometimes takes me as much time as the production of the full scale um, full scale artwork, because it takes a lot of thought and it takes a lot of consideration and all the it's a lot of creative juices that I personally use when I work on clients' projects. And so I typically set my sketch fee pretty high. Sometimes it can be as much as a half of the cost of the project. So don't be shy about charging sketch fee and having that part be paid to you upfront. Basically, it's like a deposit, and you need to get the money before you start working on it, because that creates good energy between the two of you, you and the client. So the next provision is sketch deadline. This section specifies the deadline for the sketch, basically when you will have this done. And then after that, it's revisions. Revisions specifies the number of revisions to the sketch that the client is allowed to request, which is absolutely a must-have provision. You want them to be aware that they cannot request revisions endlessly. You want them to limit it to 2 rounds of revisions. It means that they need to bunch up their list of revisions into 2 rounds and provide them to you in a list. And if they have any further revisions, then you are free to charge extra. So then the next thing after that is, of course, project timeline. That's something you need to agree on before you sign the contract. It just basically a timeline of when you will be actually doing the project, and when the deadline is for the final artwork. Then the next section is the delivery. If the artwork is mobile, basically portable, and it's to be delivered to the client, then this section sets out the deadline for the artist to deliver the artwork to the client. And it should also specify how the artwork will be delivered and whether or not it will be framed and installed by you on site. The next provision, of course, is the project cost. So this section specifies the project cost breakdown. So that includes the sketch fee, the project, basically the artist services fee, any materials, any delivery costs, any installation costs, any taxes, any shipping if you're shipping it to them, any insurance if you're including insurance fee, any framing if there is any framing involved. So any of this is going into the total project cost. And so based on that, you can have a total project cost. And the next provision would be payment terms. This section outlines the payment terms for the project, and it should specify the amount of the fee and when payments are due and what happens if the client fails to pay on time. So that's vital. I typically charge half of the fee, basically half of the total project cost needs to be paid in advance. So once we sign the agreement, a half is due to me immediately. And I would not start working on the sketch fee, basically on designing their rendering or artwork, until that first half of the payment is done, because, or is made, because that creates good energy between me and the client. I am already investing my time and effort into their project by signing this project with them. And if they want me to actually start creating stuff for them, they need to pay me money for that. uh, so that's vital. A lot of artists are shy about charging upfront, or asking for, basically, it's a uh, advance payment, but it's a good strategy and it's a good practice. You get lots of respect from clients if you do this. And just make sure you're very professional, that you deliver on time, that you do good work, and everything will be great for you, and clients will love working with you. So the next provision is about copyright. This section determines who will own the copyright to the artwork. The artist typically retains the copyright. Even if you are creating work on commission, you still have the right to your copyrights. And the client may acquire certain rights, such as the right to reproduce, distribute, or display the artwork, if you specify it, if that's what you want. If that's not what you want, even if you're creating work on commission, if they're paying you to create something for them, um, you still retain the copyrights, and you can license that artwork um, and reproduce it. But you need to specify that in the copyright provision so that client is aware. And then termination and cancellation. This section outlines the terms under which either party can terminate or cancel the contract. It should specify what happens to any payments that have already been made to you if the contract is terminated. So this is very important, and it allows you to back out of the contract if you feel like it's not going to work for you. So just, I would say, make sure that you definitely have that one in your contract. And governing law, this section determines which state's laws govern the contract. And then the entirety of the agreement provision, the entire agreement provision. This section states that the contract constitutes the entire agreement between the parties. So this section is small, but it's mighty, and it is important to have it for legal reasons. So whatever communications were prior to these to the signed agreement, basically this agreement finalizes and sets everything in stone. And then, of course, the last but not least, it's signatures and dates. This section provides the space for you and your client to sign the contract and date it. So one time somebody sent me, so a client sent me a screenshot of their signature, and it was literally a screenshot of like that little portion of the signature, like signature on the last page, and like no other parts of the contract. So that's not valid. To me, if you would like to sign a contract with me, and for it to be considered legal, it needs to be either signed in PDF with their finger or stylus on their device and sent back to me. So that counts. It can be signed in DocuSign. That counts, and it can be signed, the old-fashioned way, and with pen and pencil, and then you can take a picture of it and send me a photo as well. So that also counts, basically photos of the signed contract, or you can mail it to me. That also counts. But if you just sign and send me an image of just your signature without the entirety of the contract, then that does not count. Um, yeah, because it can be taken out of context. So that's pretty much it. I would say that it's important to know that these are just a few key contract provisions, and there are more things that you could put into your contract, and you should put in some contracts depending on the project. So again, for a more comprehensive list of provisions in the contract template, please consider taking our working on commissions on commission projects masterclass. It is awesome. We've had lots of great feedback from that one. Um, I hope this helps you on your creative path, and join our community when you're ready. And please leave a good review for this podcast if you like it, and read our blog and watch our YouTube channel. And of course, keep listening to this podcast if you like it. And I'm wishing you all the love and success on your creative path. Bye for now.